right, everybody, welcome tonight. It is day 6, and as we promised you, we will continue with the updates, and we are going to stand with our brothers and sisters in Ukraine until resolution is finished, period. Every day, 8:30 to 9 o'clock Eastern, we will be streaming live. Tonight, have a special guest, a very dear friend of mine for a very long time, Pastor Rostislav Kutin is going to be joining us. I also know that tonight at 9 o'clock, we have the State of the Union by, what's his name? I forgot his name, but, oh yeah, President Biden, that's his name. He will be giving the State of the Union tonight. Fortunately for us, we're going to get you out of here because I'm sure maybe you want to watch that, but Rostic and I are going to be much better giving you an update. Plus, I already have his speech. I had some hackers already send me his speech. I'm going to be giving you a quote from it here in just a few minutes. But I want to jump right to it. It is the middle of the night there with Rostislav and Pastor Rostislav Kudin. Welcome tonight. Facebook, YouTube, Integrity Television, everywhere from Dawn of Life Church. We love you, man. Welcome. No, reconnect. I'll text him. He's been having ear problems. Hold on, let me text him. He'll be back. Hold on, let's try it again. Are you good? No, he's not good. Technology. He'll fix it. It's all right. While he's doing that, text me when you got it fixed. Or I'll hear him. I'll just leave the mic up. So, folks, today, and we'll get him back here in just a moment. This is what happens when you're doing live from Ukraine in the middle of the night. So, welcome to you all. Zdravstvuyte, Ted Morris, and he should be good. So let's go back. Are you here? Check 1 2. Now is he frozen? He is good looking. Check. Come back in here when you get me roasted. So today's been quite a day. Do I have you yet?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, praise God. There he is, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Greg. Long time no see.
Yes, my friend.
You and everybody for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. People are here from all over the United States. They watch from other places in the world later. And the first thing you need to know is you will start seeing, well, you're not seeing the chat there, I'm sorry, but they're seeing it. Much love is coming your way. Sveta, the children, Dawn of Life, Khmelnytsky, and Ukraine. We love you. And we're here, period. We will stand and support you. I want to click through. I know it's the middle of the night. I know you've been serving people all day, and you will be serving tomorrow, and doing what you do there. But let's just get to it. Rostislav, at Dawn of Life there in Khmelnytsky, we'll just start here tonight. You guys are serving refugees, homeless people. What's going on with that? And I'm gonna show a little video clip.
We know from 2015 and 14 what it feels like and looks like, because we have been receiving a lot of refugees when the war just started from the east of Ukraine. But now, when it just hit, from all the sides, I knew that it was coming, and so we started to collect people addresses who are ready to receive refugees in their homes for staying for a while, and we started to prepare the church because people were running, fleeing for their lives, and they were running westward, like toward Lviv and toward the western part of Ukraine, which is safer now, and toward west and Poland and Europe. But they could never get to Lviv in one day. If it took 4.5 hours to get to from Kiev to Khmelnytsky before, under normal conditions, it took 20 hours for some people to take this route. So they need the place to stop and to spend night. And so we opened our church as a base and a refugee place for people who are moving westward or they want to stay here.
This I'm showing right now, Rostic, is a live map. I'm sure you know this site that shows all the current activity that is going up to the minute. So, what he's talking about, everybody, is you see the red, it's the attacks from Russia. You can see the territories that are in red that Russia is supposedly controlling. Ukraine is doing an amazing job of defending their homeland, but this is, the map we're dealing with. And what he's saying, folks, is if you're looking at your map, he is over here, and you see my mouse going around. He's right there in Khmelnytsky. So people are coming from the right to the left, and in 2014, 2015, it was just over here in the very far east in the Lugansk and the Donetsk Oblast. But now,
Yes.
folks, as Pastor said, north, south, and east, and now central people are on the move. In fact, just a little while ago, there was a very large attack in Zhytomyr. And man, I've been in that city a thousand times on the way to Khmelnytsky, and I'm just in fact, Rostik, why don't we just start there? And there was a missile attack on Zhytomyr.
Yes, actually, yeah, it was. They attacked firsthand. They attacked, military places, and even 30 miles from us, we have Starokonstantinov, and they have military base and airport. So it was hit twice, and it affected. It was really, really close to us, and we have alarms going on in our city like several times a day now, so we have to go to the shelter, so we are not in a safe zone at all, but we haven't been hit yet. But they're getting closer and closer, and you can see that by the map.
Yes, and
And they are
Zhytomyr's.
trying to circle and surround Kiev, and to choke it, and Zhytomyr was one of the places where they were trying to target some military spots. Yeah, but actually they hit civil objects as well.
But let's be honest. Today, the television tower in Kiev was hit. I'm very um, selective on what I show because honestly, Rostik, I mean, and man, um, I couldn't find any video that was provided to me that did not have deceased people in it, and I do not want to show that. Um,
Mhm.
of course, so I couldn't find video. It was terrible. They've attacked the communications there. But what's happening in reality, and you're there right now, many of these targets are indiscriminate, meaning it's no longer just military targets, but civilian places are being hit, shopping centers. And then that's accurate, right?
Correct.
Schools.
Yeah, and you could see in the news, that they're trying to seize Kharkov, which is in the
Yes.
east of Ukraine, uh, and even today they were hitting just apartment blocks where people live, and the very central square of Kharkov, where I walked there several times. Beautiful place, but biggest square in Europe, and this it was attacked. Yeah, it's nasty actually, just during the day, and no military object there, and the maternity house and so forth. People are being killed, just civilians, so they are getting angry and mad because they cannot take the city, so they're starting to hit anything they can hit.
And they're
Yeah.
increasing the munitions now with carpet bombing and cluster bombs, which are not supposed to be used. You can see here, folks, this is what he is talking about. This is a picture of downtown Kharkov, where
Yes.
you have the before, and the after. And folks, that happened over the last couple of days, especially today. It was just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
just bombarded. Now, he was talking about the maternity ward there in Zhytomyr. Here's a
Yeah.
map, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we've got some really cool things to share with you too. How we're serving people and what the enemy means for evil, God can use for good, and that's what we believe on, and that's what we stand on. But Rostislav was just sharing that the strike in Zhytomyr, which is basically halfway between Kiev and Khmelnytsky, and it's just indiscriminate damage. So I'm gonna give you a little video clip here of the maternity hospital he was talking about.
Первый этаж, 10-я палата. Здесь просто открыто окно. Коридор, выбиты стекла в двери. 9-я палата, открыты и выбиты стекла.
The windows are blown open.
Чекай,
8-я, выбиты окна. 7-й, тоже выбиты окна. По этой всей стороны выбиты окна. Ординаторская дверь вертолетом войти невозможно. Окна полностью выбиты, окон нет.
Folks, you're talking about a maternity hospital. That's the now that building wasn't directly hit. That's showing the power of what's hitting the ground. That was all, blowout, and it's
Hmm.
affecting many buildings. So that's what's going on there.
That's a light test
Do
video.
what?
Yeah, that's a light test version of video. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yes. Um Today, very intense attacks in Kiev, which is the middle circle, Kharkov, which is the top right circle. Then also, just before I went online tonight with Rostislav, really intense attacks in Kherson and also Mykolaiv or Nikolaev. Mykolaiv, if you remember, those of you from Bethel Life, our wonderful brother who is probably watching now or definitely will be watching later, Sasha Nikolaev, he came to us from Dawn of Life to Pennsylvania. He was from that city of Nikolaev, and when he immigrated, that's why he changed his name to Nikolaev, because he was from Nikolaev. And then the bottom right circle is a very key location of Melitopol and Mariupol. Um, and right now, the squeeze is really trying to be put on Mariupol to just
Hmm.
completely close off that sea line. Is that pretty accurate what I'm giving there, Rostic?
Yes, yes. We have. I just was texting today with pastor from Melitopol, and he's blocked there. They cannot get out, and they collected with other his board members with other pastors, but I saw people going out in the streets of Melitopol today and protesting and just openly confronting Russian soldiers. And we have contacted a pastor in Berdyansk, which is
Mm-hmm.
also occupied now, near Azov Sea, and the pastor just barely escaped with his wife, and they passed through our city, and they're in western Ukraine right now. So it is
The
very
air.
intense, and they
So
were shooting at the
this city
peaceful
right
people.
here below Zaporozhye, um,
Yes.
they're trapped there.
Yes, correct. Yeah, and we are waiting for them to sleep through, but they still can do it, for several days already, and in big danger. Yeah, and we received a couple and a family, pastor's family from Kherson,
Okay.
Martinchuk Yuri. I call him several days ago, and he was okay, and he was like kind of, thinking, should he stay, should he go? And I said, man, just pack your stuff, get ready, and take off. And the next day, Kherson and the surrounding area was attacked, but they barely escaped just before that.
And
So they're in our area safe now.
this is the city of Kherson. Just so you guys know, we're talking about all these regions along southern
They
Ukraine.
want to have this dry land way from Russia through the Lugansk and Donetsk area to Crimea. So that was their intention initially, in 14. But
Right.
it didn't happen. No riots were successful in Nikolaev, in Kherson, and in Zaporozhye area. So no separatists were successful there. So, but now they're trying to do it again by force. Just take it by force.
So they want a dry land connection from Russia, of course, to Crimea. And then
Yeah,
I've also been reading, Roastic, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. They want a dry land connection from Russia through Kiev down to Transnistria region, between
it's
Moldova and Ukraine.
yes, it's their next phase, because that's why they want to take Odessa,
Hmm.
and which is left to Crimea, and this way they will control all the south of Ukraine. They will control the Black Sea access, and it will it will be very very bad for Europe, because they will be right there, with their missiles,
Right.
and because right now, that piece of land that they took from Moldova is just surrounded. Nobody recognizes it. But if they will be successful in doing that, it will be very dangerous.
Um, Roasted, I know you can't see the chat, but I can. I just want to convey to you many of your pastors and friends and churches that you have ministered in the United States are sending you big greetings right now. So
Thank you.
California, uh, Pennsylvania, Nevada. Um,
Yes.
we've got a question from Ted
Right.
Morris wondering if they will try to push around the west to Lviv. Um,
Right now, we have a big group of tanks trying to come into Ukraine from Belarusia, and they're in Volyn Oblast, which is, you see the very left circle, so it is even more to the left, or very close to Poland, which is right above us, and it is very dangerous, and it would attack the Western Ukraine, and
would
but yeah,
would
but
that would that come
go
down
ahead.
through uh, Koval and Lutsk?
Yes,
Okay, so
yes,
folks, here you go.
yeah, sure.
Right here. This is in the very
Hmm.
western section. This is Lutsk. This is Kovel. This is Belarus right here. And then over here is Poland. And then, of course, Lviv is right here. So
They
ultimately,
are.
go ahead.
Mhm.
Hmm.
They are, they don't know where they're going, they don't know what is waiting for them, because our guys and our army and nation is very motivated right now, so it's just one way ticket, and but still, if they, and we are trying to keep them from that and then talk them out of it,
Hmm.
but they're, while mad President Lukashenko, he is joining Putin in his aggression, and they hope together and choke Ukraine in this combat.
Yeah, and the people that are a part of my program regularly roasted, a few months ago when Belarus was having all of those revolts and potential to try to
Yep.
overthrow Lukashenko, we were talking about that very quite often on how important it was, and of course, it went the other way as
Hmm.
Russia came in and supported that. Um, so you were telling me earlier that in you made the statement that two things you said. Number one, they don't know what's waiting for them, and that is the morale and the camaraderie of the Ukrainian people. I mean, you were telling me
Yes,
earlier.
and yes, and preparedness of our army. We've been
uh,
trained for 8 years of actual war already. So we are not just babysitting. It's a real stuff.
Let me ask you this: Did, as a Ukrainian, and you're not only a pastor, but you're involved in governmental things, you're involved in community organizations, you have a network all throughout Ukraine and other countries. Did you expect this to happen?
Um, I didn't expect that Putin will be that crazy.
Mhm.
I expected that to come to some local conflicts, in one or two areas. Maybe expand in eastern Ukraine to try to take more territory there. But and because military experts that I was reading and listening to, they said that he doesn't have enough army to take over and control Ukraine. When they were coming to Chechnya with against Georgia, they had 80,000 people against one little piece of land.
Mhm.
And now you waste in west and the huge Ukraine, you cannot control it. And when you have people from every window and from under every bush shooting at you and blowing you up and firing your trucks, man,
Listen,
you cannot control. we are,
we've
we
just
are
been
not
we've
waiting
been
for
friends a long
those.
we've been friends a long time, so I'm not laughing. I just know what he's saying. uh, how many Molotov cocktails are ready to go?
Yeah, we have chats in our city, and people we have beer businesses, and they stopping selling beer and they
Hmm.
pouring beer on the ground just to have those glass bottles, and they're
Wow.
using them for a mold of cocktails, and they're being prepared by hundreds and hundreds and in every city. And in Zhytomyr yesterday or today they had just TED training for everybody who wants to learn it, how to fire, how to burn Russian tank, and how to throw a bottle in the right spot. So I will show the. I just was going to church today, and here is the picture from my car. I don't
Let
know.
me get
Yeah,
it bigger.
you'll
Here
see.
we go.
Yes, yes, and actually, it's this circle near Kation coming to our church,
I know it
and
well. Yes.
yeah, so we already have block posts on every crossing with
Mm.
with those metal stuff against tanks and bronze machines. So uh, we are highly motivated. We have several groups of people armed here in Khmelnytsky, in every city with arms, and prepared. Not and that's not the army. Army is fighting, but that's local people ready to go to combat. So that's
I
what I mean by one-way ticket. Yeah.
I have a question for you coming in actually from my daughter for you tonight. She's concerned. Where are you able to get food from? Are grocery stores still open? Are local farmers able to
Mhm.
provide? Or, and I know it's different in different cities depending on what's been
Yep.
destroyed or not. But how's food and natural supplies that you're?
You know that it was said about Ukraine that it's a breadbasket of the world, and uh, let me assure you, Ukraine will not starve. We have storages, we have canned food, we have canned veggies, we have potatoes. You cannot starve us to death. You will die going there because uh, it's yes, we had some issues. We had lines first day of war. We had huge lines in the stores.
Yes,
People who rushed to the stores,
fear
and
initially.
huge lines to in bank, in ATMs, in aptex as well, pharmacies. But you know after 2 3 days everything is fine, and we see stuff going back. Even today when we were buying stuff for, to feed our people, the refugees that are coming here, no problem, we could buy everything we needed. And we do expect that things can go tough if the war will get closer, uh, so therefore we are preparing ahead of time. We are buying stuff and we are storing some stuff that is not spoiled, so
Mhm.
canned food and dry food. So, and but I'm sure every Ukrainian is doing that. So
Let
yeah.
me roll the video from in the church. Um, I've got it here right there.
Hello again, it's Dawn of Life Church, Pastor Staff. Short update. It's our main hall. We have sleeping places. We had about 30 people last night, and they expecting more today. Looking forward, we are searching for more mattresses. And here we're distributing oil and different crops and flour and cookies and noodles and stuff and oil and vegetables and fruits for the people in need, for people in our city, for people in our neighborhood, and for some social organizations who are taking care of needy moms, solo moms, and so forth. So the work is on fire.
Amen, man. Such an inspiration for the rest of the world, and such an example. Thank you. Let me encourage you a
Yeah,
little bit now.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
we are very inspired. I will tell you what we are inspired by. When we started this initiative, I am so motivated and thrilled by the unity of our people. When our city started to find out about what's going on, that we are receiving people here, our local blogger came in, and he took some blogs from here. Here's another hostel place when we people can be received, and they need mattresses, they need food, and people started to come. Some restaurants, we can bring you hot food. Some bakeries, some meat places, provide sausages for us, and so forth. So for people just calling us, can I contribute something? I can do sandwiches, and we're amazed, how people are getting united. You cannot overcome such a nation.
No, you can't. And it's such an example. I mean, in the tragedy that is unfolding, I think it's even safe for me to say this right now that you guys are leading the way on how to be Christian and how to serve and how to honor and how to come together and how to care. And we're gonna do our part. You know, everything we can do. Man, if my wife's gonna shoot me, but if I could get to you right now, I would be there in a heartbeat and hand in hand beside you because you know it's my second home
Yeah,
and I love
your
it.
bow and arrow would, our special forces guys would like you with your bow and arrow.
Hey,
It's
I
it
I am.
sounds.
Oh, don't give me ideas, Rusty, because I'll be there.
You know what?
Oh, I would be the sniper.
Our president gave up the law that everybody can come into Ukraine without any visa if they
Mhm.
want to join International Legion. So we have guys coming by hundreds now,
I can
and
tell
good
you
guys,
right now,
good
many
guys.
people that watch this program are veterans. They're older people now, but U.S. veterans, and they are always screaming in the chat or sending me messages. If I was just young again, I would be there. You know,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
just it's the power of unity and coming together. Let me encourage you on a couple of things. Many more companies today came out and said that they are going to help the economic war. Many auto
Mhm.
manufacturers, Apple Computer came out and said no more business. United Airlines came out and said no more business. And they're just lining
Yes.
up step by step to help with the economic war. The problem with that is our own government, and we just have to call it like it is. President Biden, stop buying oil from Vladimir Putin. Stop it. Open the stinking Keystone pipeline. We do not need to buy oil from anybody. We've got enough oil in Alaska to float a battleship, and you need to stop supporting the war effort by buying oil from Russia. Period. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Praise God.
Man,
Praise
your
God.
president,
North Korea is dying. Yeah.
your president called my president today and said, man, in your speech tonight, which the world is waiting for, getting ready to happen, you need to be bold and you need to be strong. And that's your president there in the middle of a war calling our president, saying supposed to be the leader of the free world, telling him how to give his speech. We need Zelensky to give the speech tonight for the State of the Union to be much, much better. Couple of things, Rostick. 600,000 refugees right now, 1 million people displaced. And if this continues for another week, the humanitarian organizations, Ukrainian NGOs, et cetera, are saying it could be 4.5 million refugees and displaced in a week. So this ministry is important. Well,
yes, even today I am on duty, and we have people from Kramatorsk, we have people from, we have one lady from Lugansk itself, and she said war started on Wednesday, but I was forced on the to leave Lugansk, which is in Lugansk Republic, and it's separated. I was forced to leave Lugansk on Monday, 2 days before, and I was deceived because they told me that we will be hit. So she took her 2 children and rushed for Kiev. And when she came to Kiev to her brother on Wednesday, the Kiev was hit. So they had to flee Kiev, and she is very desperate and lost, and I was sitting down and talking to her because she has her husband left in Lugansk, and he's hiding because he doesn't want to go to Lugansk, the Lugansk army, because they're after him. They mobilize everybody now. They just catch people from the streets and take them to. He's hiding now, and she's here, and she's desperate. She said, I need to go to Belarus and then come through Russia, come back to Lugansk. I said, no, our border with Belarus is closed. You cannot go, and she's lost, and so people are coming without.
That story is repeated over thousands and thousands of times with families that are displaced and struggling. In fact, I was reading some of the stuff on some of the groups that you have put me in or given me access to, where families are just going back and forth. They don't know where to go. They're lost.
Yeah.
So
it's very sad.
It's
sad.
very
Some people
sad.
From Kiev, from Kiev, just running from their homes, running for their lives, and they come here, and they don't know where their next step is. They just hung up in the air, So we're trying to give them some peace of mind, some hope, and just to stabilize them somehow.
You've got a comment here from a gentleman. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this stuff or not, but he'll know who I'm talking about. Who his son is serving in American military. He says, though under siege, I hear the pride, resiliency, and commitment of his spirit and of their spirit within. So be encouraged there, my friend.
Yes,
and you guys need to hang here because this is better than Joe Biden, I promise you, and you can watch Biden later. But just a few more minutes. We've got to get Rostick to bed. He's got to continue to serve and get a little bit of rest. It's only 4:04 a.m. there. So here's the picture of Zhytomyr, a picture of Kharkov. Folks, these are serious munitions dropping, and unfortunately, due to the struggles that the Russian military is having, it seems they are increasing not only their bombing, but the power of what they're dropping. So we'll see.
Mhm.
Here's a couple quotes of the day. I just want to show you a difference. And Rostislav and I had discussed this prior to going live. But if I already have Joe Biden's speech, the entire transcript, not just little quotes here and there, and I pulled out a quote of what he's getting ready to say. Don't mess with my computer hacker friends. They've got power. Here's the quote: Putin's war was premeditated and unprovoked. He rejected efforts at diplomacy. He thought the West and NATO wouldn't respond, and he thought he could divide us here at home. Biden was to say in Tuesday's State of the Union address, Putin was wrong and we were ready. No, Putin's wrong and Ukraine was ready. The rest of the world is catching up to help, but don't you dare say we were ready. Ukraine was ready, and now we're catching up to help them, and people are ready. People like Elon Musk donating internet and satellites to help. People like the churches. On Thursday, I have a conference call with a group of pastors in South Carolina that want to send finances. Tomorrow, I'm doing an interview for our local newspaper here. They just want to continue to get the message out. And this is growing, growing, growing. And you can help the way you're doing it: sharing, liking, commenting, and giving. And guys, you guys are amazing. It's unbelievable how people that are a part of this program in our local church and our extended church family in the country and around the world are responding financially. We were working with Rostislav this afternoon, got the correct paths to send him resources that you guys have been sending. Pastor Kent is taking care of with coordinating with the church in Indiana. Those monies are coming. And I told Rostislav before the program, I said, this is not a, just a one-time gift and God bless you. We want to continue to support. I was talking to a friend earlier, Rostic. If everything stopped right now, just stopped, Ukraine's got to be rebuilt. It's devastated. People damaged, hurt. There's a lot of work that's going on in the body of Christ and Ukrainians and humanity.
Yeah, we are really touched, by the response that we are getting, and every day, and it's increasing, the reaction and the political and economical and the money being sent and the ammunition being sent and etc. But it got to increase. Of course, it's very sad that that NATO can't close the sky over us, to control the air or do something else. But we know that we realize that it's our battle. We are a shield between Russia and Europe, and they realize it as well. So now they receiving, working on receiving Ukraine into EU, and they escalate, the way how they do that. Although they were very stagnant, and reluctant to do that in the previous
Well,
years.
and here's my concern. And man, it's just time to shoot straight. The politics and the games that are happening, yes, economic support's coming. Yes, many nations, even Switzerland, dropped their neutral status from 1815 because they know they
Hmm.
have to help Ukraine. Brother, we need to close the skies over Ukraine. It would solve it.
Sure.
Okay? And unfortunately, there's too many cowards that are in power outside of Ukraine that are scared to death for some reason. In fact, the games that are played, there was this breaking news a couple of hours ago how a quote came from our government that said we were closing the skies to Russia. But when you get into it, it was not in Ukraine. It's in America. where their commercial
Yeah.
planes can't come anymore. But it's the playing of the words, so
Yeah.
that mess has to stop. Um, anyway,
Yeah. But we are getting 70 jets from Europe.
yes,
Well, we'll do it ourselves. We have a guy. He's called, you know, Kiev Ghost,
the ghost of Kiev.
and he took down 21 plane this far.
Okay,
He was put down once, today or yesterday, but he is, catapulted, and he landed at 21, a
okay.
Russian plane.
So here's the deal. You can confirm it, and this is why we're doing this every night. So this guy's becoming legendary, kind of like the Red Baron, from World War One. So there is a pilot. This is a true story, and he has
Yes, he's a
shot
real man.
down over 20 planes.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I,
saw
I,
it,
I
and
was
then
coming, I saw it was coming 5, 6. I saw a video of one of it, was just excellent. He flies very low. He knows landscape. He knows land. So he knows where he's working. So you cannot beat him. Yeah.
God bless
Hmm.
the ghost
Yeah.
of Kiev.
And we'll have 70 of those. We will do it ourselves.
If
You'll just
if knock him out, he'll get another plane. That's
he just did. Yeah. And we understand it's our fight. Europe will not
yes.
fight for us. NATO will not fight for us, but uh, victory belongs to us. And that will help us not to be dependent
Mhm.
on somebody else. So that from that side, it's better. That we have it
Here's the
this way.
difference. Here's just a wonderful Ukrainian citizen named Andrew Muzuka in Lvov. He said today, I can see that Russia will not stop, so I must stop them. A web developer waiting with dozens of men to buy guns in Lvov, Ukraine. You know,
Hmm.
this every citizen that is there is coming together and laboring. I wanted to give this Rostik. Slava. This
Yes.
is the Vlasyuk family. Slava um, is living in Hong Kong now, but her family, and her sent some pictures. This is in Poltava, Ukraine. This family is connected to our church here. They're in their bomb shelter, got their fingers up and reading and eating some fruit. And folks, you see the food up on the shelves, um, smiling, obviously freezing with the coats and blankets wrapped around them, obviously. Um,
But
I think the
obviously
the
cheerful.
picture
Yeah.
speaks for itself.
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
happening all over Ukraine?
Yeah. And we are, we have very poor bombing shelters, in our, we just old undergrounds under our panel blocks, apartment blocks, which is very good graveyard. You don't go there, because if the panel home crashes, you are buried.
Mm.
So um well, you have to do, but in this case it's much better. They have private house, and that's average, Ukrainian village family, and you cannot defeat them. They just hide themselves, and they will eat the fruits and wait for the
Hey,
victory.
man, listen, you want something good. So
Mhm.
everybody's in the chat right now saying, you're good. Biden just stated the exact quote you had on your screen. Folks, they don't know the power of the hack, do they, Rostic?
I am enjoying what Anonymous are doing to Russia, man.
Listen,
I was
I have a
I saw
friend.
what they did. Yeah, a guy
It's
who
where
was driving from St. Petersburg to Moscow, and he is coming, pulling down with his electric car to charge his car at the government state electric station, So, and he's coming to the screen, and it says Putin, blah blah blah, and the Russian ship, and do this to yourself, and the glory to Ukraine, and the death to our enemies, and that's and he's, what's going on? I am in the middle of Russia, and it's on a screen of the charger, of a battery charger, and it's going
Well,
everywhere.
it's 2022. It's such a connected, technological, financial, economic, and military war. We can't understand it. This is not even like warfare 20 years ago. This is completely different. Um, and yes, I do have a connection with Anonymous. They reached out to me, one of their guys. I can never say their name, where they come from, nothing, but they're sending me a lot of stuff. And so thanks to that person who is watching. Because people care, man. It's where we're at, and we're going to make it happen. Last thing, Rostislav, and I'm going to get you some rest. Let's see. Let's go back here on that button. And
I'm sorry for the cat meowing here. I have cats in my office today, man.
yeah,
People came with 4
go ahead,
cats, 2
go ahead and tell
dogs.
them.
It's
You
it's like a Noah's Ark, man. I have stuff and cats, cats poops, and their bags. Man, I would kill it, but it's not mine. So sorry for meowing.
listen. It's you're not only serving refugees of humans, but you've got to take care of their cats also.
It's a Noah's Ark, man.
It's like Noah's Ark. All right, one last thing here, and we'll get you some rest, my friend. Folks, this is where we're at. And if Rostislav is willing, of course, we'll have him back on in a few days. We get a good night of rest where he could be prepared, and we'll just continue updating. Rostik, we're committed to pray, we're committed to love, and we're committed to put our money where our mouth is, because we know it makes a difference. Um, we're going to be here, man, and we're going to continue to support. We're going to continue to love. And all I can tell you is please convey the message that there is an overwhelming tidal wave of love, care, concern, and resources that's flowing your way.
Yeah, we really appreciate and we really feel it, because we are absolutely persuaded that first of all, it's a spiritual combat. It is a
Mm-hmm.
spiritual warfare. We do have a church prayer twice a day, in the morning and in the evening over Zoom. We have multiple people joining us, and we feel this, and I understand that the prayer is a spiritual weapon. So, and it has no distance, so you can use it wherever you are. So you can be really connected, by your prayer. And we do appreciate your support, your
You're
financial
welcome, my
practical
friend.
support.
It's
Helps
not going
us
to
to
stop.
do what we're doing. Yeah.
With that said, in our local sanctuary here, and I know people here from all over the country, but in our local sanctuary, every Wednesday, our building's going to be open from 8 until 9 p.m. Just open for prayer, fasting for Ukraine and for the situation. Not only that, we have night of worship tomorrow night where I'm leading worship. It's online, and you're welcome to come to the facility as well. But it's not going to be worship as normal. We're going to be worshiping and praying for and interceding for the nation of Ukraine. So make sure you're a part of that. We will continue with the updates every night at 8:30 Eastern. We'll continue to have our friends on with us and our family members from Ukraine on with us to give the truth, that you can see it clearly. You're hearing the passion, and it's exciting. Like I said, the snowball's kind of rolling, man. It's not only rolling for what you guys are doing there in Ukraine on the ground, but there's a snowball of love and support rolling around the world now, and it's just getting bigger. So we're very excited. What the enemy meant for evil, God's going to turn for good. Now, as we're going out, let's encourage some folks tonight. Can you give the background on what happened this past Sunday? And I'm going to show a couple minutes of that clip, talk about Karina, Sammy Rodriguez, and then I'll come back and we'll sign off. But set the stage. What happened?
Yeah, Karina, she is our daughter, and so she's very connected, and she's very worried for us, first of all, and of course, she loves Ukraine, so she started to raise some support and awareness of what's going on in Ukraine, and then her pastor, Samuel Rodriguez, found out that what's going on, and so she called her on stage and asked her and just to show the what's going on, and actually he mentioned that we had church service here in church in the middle of this war situation, and so they were praying for Ukraine, and Karina sang a song in Ukrainian there in his church.
Lots of people that watch this do not know you personally. So your oldest daughter, Karina, lives in Sacramento, California.
Yes.
Your parents live in Sacramento, California.
Yeah, my parents live here. My sister's family is in Texas actually right now, not in Sacramento. They moved to Texas. Yes, most of my relatives on mama's side, they are in stateside now. Yeah.
I'll send Karina a link to this so she can see. But so Sammy Rodriguez, wonderful man of God. I've ministered with him. He's incredible, powerful man of God. You're going to see, I'm going to show you a couple minutes of this clip. And this should excite you. This is Rostislav's daughter, Karina, and her husband. I think he was standing beside her in the video I saw.
Yes.
Yes.
AJ, yeah.
Yes. And this is just a couple of days ago. Where, man, I got so many buttons down here and I can't see nothing. Where are you at, Sammy Rodriguez? Sammy Rodriguez, you're right there.
Hello, everyone. Something truly remarkable took place at our church in Sacramento today, our Sacramento campus. Something that marked me. I'm so moved by it that I'm compelled to share this with you right now. I'm going to show you something. I'm actually going to show you the footage of what took place today at our church. Not by coincidence, by divine appointment. Today we had scheduled one of our worship leads, scheduled the fourth Sunday of every month. She happens to be Ukrainian. Her name is Karina. Ukrainian, and her parents are still in Ukraine. They are still in Ukraine, and while she was worshiping over here, guess what they were doing today when missiles were flying over? With missiles and tanks rolling in, they had church. They had church. You need to see this footage. It's going to mark you. You're going to sense an anointing. You're going to feel the presence of God. You're going to experience the power of God. It's going to motivate and elevate your faith. So watch this. Feel free to share it. I'm here to tell you God has the final word. Let's continue to pray for peace in Ukraine in Jesus' name. Not by coincidence, on this Sunday we had already designated for a while. We have different worship leads in this church. If you come here, you have different worship leaders that are just beautiful. Today, not by happenstance, but by divine appointment, we already had one of our worship leads who we love. If you come here every Wednesday, you see them. And come up here. This beautiful young lady and her amazing husband are our worship leads on Wednesday. And Karina happens to be from Ukraine. Now,
yep.
this was before anything happened.
Yes. I moved here 7 years ago from Ukraine.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Ukraine. So I just want to do this real quick, and I want to show you a couple of dynamics here. One, you're here. You're worshiping in California, and we're streaming all around the world right now. We have so many beautiful people online watching from all around the world. I need to ask you, do you have family members in Ukraine?
Yes, I do. Actually, both of my parents and all of my siblings are there right now, and my grandma.
Your family's in Ukraine?
Yep.
I need to ask you this. I just sense an anointing knowing what the answer already is, so please forgive me. It's Sunday, so what did your dad do this Sunday in Ukraine in the midst of this invasion? What was your dad doing?
My dad and his old church were gathered on Sunday morning, and they did full-on Sunday service. And they were worshiping, and they were praising the Lord, and they were praying.
Y'all missed it. You're telling me that today, Sunday, in Ukraine, while there are bombs and invasion
Yep.
force,
Yep.
the gospel of Jesus was being preached in the
Yep.
country of Ukraine.
That's right. That's right.
Nothing can stop. Nothing can stop the church of Jesus Christ. Nothing can stop the gospel of Jesus. Nothing can stop the glory of God from shining. Nothing can stop the grace of God from being sufficient. I love this. Tell me about you right now, knowing your parents are there, your family is there. They're continuing to advance the gospel.
That's our Sunday service, guys. That's my parents, my mom, my dad, Rostislav and Svetlana. And this is literally this morning. That's this morning. That's this morning.
Isn't this wild?
Yeah. And on the background, you can see a picture with mattresses. So they actually cleared out all the chairs from the church, and they put mattresses for all the refugees from the east. So they're hosting people, they're cooking for them, they're staying there for free, they're making sure they're safe.
Karina, but you're here in California, and then you're picking up the mic, and you're worshiping and lifting up Jesus. And I just heard you saying, worthy is the... What? I mean, how can you sing in the midst of everything that's happening in your homeland? How can you praise? How can you raise your volume? How can you lift up your hands? What does it? Why are you doing it? What compels you? What drives you?
That song that we sing, Wait on You, it says, I've tasted your goodness, I trust in your promise. That's enough for me. I've tasted his goodness. I know already what he's done in my life, what he's done for my family, for my country. And I see the miracles, guys. It's crazy, but we do see the miracles in Ukraine. Missiles shot in the ground don't explode. How is that happening? People who are in the buildings happen to be in the store when their apartment gets blown up.
We have an audience all around the world in this church. We have Ukrainians, we have Russians, we have so many ethnicities. Again, we're a very multi-ethnically diverse church. And I just want the church not to suffer from some sort of myopic worldview application. We can't say, the Russian people are protesting right now in Russia against what the government is doing. Matter of fact, on stage today, we have a Ukrainian. Come here, sweetie. Where are you from? Oh, you're Russian. The glory of Jesus wins the day. The power of Jesus wins the day. The name of...
There you have it, my friend. That's a proud dad.
Thank you. Yes. It touched my heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee it's touching everybody's heart right now. And Pastor Sammy Rodriguez is a serious man of God there. And what I love about him is he's a normal human being.
Mm.
He's the real deal, as you are as well. I love you.
Thank you. Same here.
I know. Well, buddy, I know you need to get some rest. Thank you for being on here. If there's any last thing you want to say, and we'll do this more, if you would be willing.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All righty.
It's kind of like a joke. I saw a Ukrainian tour operator in Egypt, where, because like it's like Cancun in Mexico for US, because you can stay, you go there for rest, vacation. So she is in Egypt and she's filming herself. Please, Ukrainian tourists, please stop beating up Russian tourists. I'm tired of listening, because of you destroying hotel furniture, and I'm tired of relocating you, to another rooms and so forth. Please stop beating up. You don't mess with Ukraine. We love everybody. We love everybody. We love the Lord. We love people. But don't mess up with us, because we will lay hands and lovingly, and bring you home. Yeah,
We will lay hands
one way or
lovingly.
another.
One way or the other. I think that's a good way to say it. I think that's something that my hero might have said, natural hero in the world, and that was Ronald Reagan. Probably something he would have said as well. Be careful, we'll lay hands on you one way or the other. So, Rostic, thank you, my man. I love you.
Yeah,
Get some rest.
thank you
Get
for
some sleep. You're very
I enjoyed it.
welcome. We will continue to pray, love, support financially, and of course, we'll be checking in with you every day. If you need anything, you holler. There's an army here ready to help.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we'll stay in touch because situation changes every day.
Every day.
You will be staying on it. Yeah.
I'm like white on rice, buddy. I'm glued. My heart.
Mhm.
So, all right.
Yes.
We love you. Please go get some sleep and tell the family we love them. I will send a copy of this to Karina, and she can see Dad. So, thank you, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
We love you.
Thank you.
For everybody, thank you for being here tonight. Make sure you're continuing to spread the message. As always, we had our communications coordinator today adjust our website at the church, make it easier to give, blwc.org, and all you have to do is go right here. It's on the main page, and give to Ukraine, click donate, and it's going straight to Ukraine relief. And as you know, every penny is going to get to them plus more. So we love you. May the Lord bless you tonight. May the Lord keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you abundant peace. We love you from the U.S. and we love you from Ukraine. Good night, everybody.
Good night. God bless. Yeah.